name is Stefanski.
I'm a former software engineer turned entrepreneur. I've explored real estate, dabbled in options trading, I run my own photography business,
And now I'm in the wild world of automotive retail.
Even as long as my software career was, cameras and cars have always been my thing. My venture into car sales allows me to tap into that passion and enthusiasm for cars and help get people connected to and excited about their next new ride.
I'm grabbing the keys to something thrilling. Come along and let's go for a spin. Being given an opportunity to spend a little bit of time with a 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Premium. This has just under 30,000 miles on the odometer. It's priced under $25,000. And this is kind of an interesting car. It's sort of like a rugged alternative to a Mazda CX-30. This is a lifted Impreza. Kind of the same relationship that exists between the Mazda 3 and the Mazda CX-30. Subaru Impreza, Subaru Crosstrek, basically the same car. This one's a little bit taller, a little bit more rugged. So, small SUV. It does have the Subaru Boxer engine under the hood. This has compatibility with Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. This does have a CVT, continuously variable transmission, so there's no gears. This is being driven by a belt. You do actually have paddle shifters though, so you can simulate shifts by popping this into manual mode. You also have a whole lot of different safety tech on this. There's tons of things in here that I was actually kind of surprised to see on a Subaru, like one-touch lane change, the it can steer itself capability. It does tell you, put your hands back on the wheel. I was trying to drive, see what that's like, kind of just, let it do its thing, see what it does, and was kind of bouncing a little bit between the lane lines, but it managed to stay in the lane, and when a curve did come, it managed to steer through it. Now, I was driving into pretty intense sunlight, so there were some times where it was not able to do that, but the feature exists. All kinds of customizability in here. You can pretty easily turn on or off the auto stop start, auto vehicle hold, so if you come up to a red light, you don't want to sit there with your foot on the brake, or a railroad crossing, you just press the brake, hold it there, the green light flashes on the gauge cluster, you can let go of the brake, the car will sit there. It's pretty smooth. This is a pretty straightforward car, even with all of the, I believe Subaru calls it eyesight. Yep, all of the eyesight tech that's in here. I mean, lane departure, forward collision warning, pre-collision braking. I didn't want to take a chance with testing, can the dynamic cruise control bring the car to a complete stop? But that was otherwise responsive. So yeah, I'm gonna spend some time with this and see what happens.
The 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Premium. This is an interesting one. It's comfortable. It's basic, but at the same time it's not basic. Playing your passing maneuvers. This is not a go-fast car. Getting onto the interstate, even if you mash the pedal all the way to the floor, you're gonna feel that this is a little on the slow side. In the city, that's fine. Where you're going, maybe 25, 35, 40 miles an hour, then this is adequate. It's like turning onto this road where the speed limit's 45 miles an hour. Getting up to that, it does well. But I'm about to get onto the interstate. That took a bit to get to 60. That was and that was a rolling start too. So from about, I took that curve at like 15. So from 15 to 60 took like, it took too long. It felt like it took probably somewhere around 10 seconds. And honestly, working the paddles, they add that touch of engagement, but it's not super responsive, and they don't really do much. So one thing that's nice, I can turn off the auto stop start real easily. I can turn on this auto hold real easily. The self-steering that this has, it's kind of neat to see that it has that, especially at a car that is at this price point and this low of a trim level. I'd leave it off. It functions, but it's far from something like Volkswagen's travel assist. You do need to make sure you have both hands on the steering wheel at 9 and 3, otherwise this will scream at you. If you do this, it'll keep the car in your lane, but after a while it'll tell you put your hands on the wheel, or even if you just leave one hand on the wheel, after a while it's going to tell you keep both hands on the wheel. But the system was disabling itself frequently. I think the longest that it actually stayed on steering itself was maybe 2 minutes straight. At first I thought it was just related to, well, I'm driving straight into pretty intense sunlight. But even after I was going the opposite direction and after the sun went down, it just kept going on and off, and you get not just a visual notification but an audible signal as well, so that was a little annoying. That probably isn't doing much to sell anybody on that particular feature in this car. However, use that as For one thing, a point of reference in comparison to other vehicles, look at Volkswagen and look at Mazda with their active driving technology. But also, if you are considering this car, are you willing to either put up with that, use it occasionally, or understand that, hey, you've got this feature here, might as well just leave it turned off for the best experience, and you're going to be okay with leaving that turned off? Again, it's really easy to enable or disable. There's a button on the steering wheel. Right now, I am kind of surprised. It's actually been staying on for the last several minutes and doing an okay job. You can feel it kind of pulling the different directions. Something yesterday that it was doing that I wasn't particularly fond of, it kept bouncing between each of the lane lines. Car never left the lane, stayed in it, but it was just odd, the car bouncing from the left edge to the right to the left rather than just staying in the middle. Okay, active steering's off now. There it goes. It turned itself off again. So for a car that's actually priced under $25,000, to have all of the safety tech that is on this, you're kind of getting a lot for the money. One other thing that I noticed that was a pretty nice touch, auto dimming rear view mirror. Driving at night, pitch black, this big Cadillac Escalade comes right up behind me with its bright LEDs blinding me in the side mirrors. So out of habit, I go up to flip the rear view mirror and I see, wait a minute, this looks dark. Auto dimming rear view mirror on a low trim level on a car under $25,000. That's pretty nice. Is this a car that you can enjoy driving? In the right conditions, in the right surroundings, yes, I think you can. Is this a sporty, go fast, super exciting, wow, look at this awesome car kind of a vehicle? No. But will this get you around safely, comfortably, efficiently? Yeah. And there's ample space inside the cabin, plenty of room for passengers. It's not cramped. There's decent room in the trunk. It's not too small. Loading stuff in and out is easy. Getting in and out of this is easy. It is a good car. It is. It's not an appliance. It's not, totally boring or something like that. It is all right. It's got its quirks. This is a very good, kind of like middle ground option. And I think for the right person, if they're looking for something like, let's say, the Mazda CX-50, that's more rugged, but that's too big for them, well, Mazda doesn't make a rugged CX-30, so the Subaru Crosstrek, probably a pretty decent option, as long as said customer is going to be okay with not driving the quickest, sportiest thing in the world. Solid, basic, comfortable, a little taller, a little more rugged. but not as big as a CX-50, and actually a little bit more fuel efficient, yeah, turn them onto the Crosstrek. At 27 miles per gallon in the city and 34 on the highway, that's actually pretty decent fuel economy for a car like this. You're squeezing out a few more MPGs because of that CVT. Something to keep in mind. You are sacrificing that power, that sportiness, to get more miles per gallon than smiles per gallon. That said, this does still handle well. I took this on Davidson Road between Brookfield and Barker Road, where there's a downhill, twisty, kind of really fun stretch where you can really put a car's handling to the test. And this did well. I was impressed. Alright, let's try the lane changing. Okay, I had to help it there. It did work for me once so far, but not there. I'm not sure if that's because it was on a curve and you can only change on a straight stretch. Well, they're gonna go that way. All right, I'm gonna try going this way. Didn't do it that time. It started, but then it like stopped when the car was right between both lanes. Uh-oh. All right, we'll try again. I feel like I had to help it. So I'm going from 70 up to 80 because the speed limit went up. That required some effort. So if you're looking at a Subaru Crosstrek and you're wondering if it's going to be able to keep up, if it's going to be quick enough, I would say that this is probably better suited in the city. Obviously, I was able to get onto the highway, and I am still able to move along. Oh, hey, here we go, lane change. There it goes. Can I do another one? Yay! So, it's got a few party tricks. But if you're looking for something that's super fun, very sporty, really quick, this is not that car. Now, granted, as far as Subarus go, we all know that's the WRX, and a WRX this is not. So it's one of those things that you've got to keep in mind what you're actually getting. If you want an SUV that can get you around to places fairly solidly with a lot of safety tech, with reasonable fuel economy, comfortable ride, easy to drive, easy technology, that would be this car. So, if you would like to make this Crosstrek your own, reach out to me, Isaac Stefanski, at Hall Mazda Volkswagen. Alright, double green arrows.
If you or anybody you know happen to be in the market for a new car, come and see me, Isaac Stefanski, down at Hall Mazda Volkswagen on Blue Mound Road in Brookfield, Wisconsin. New, used, certified pre-owned, I'll connect you with your brand new ride.